Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today I am going to explain another topic of chapter 3, biodiversity. The topic is characteristics of 5 kingdoms. The 5 kingdoms are Monera, Protista, Animalia, Fungi and Plantae. Monera. Kingdom Monera contains prokaryotes or prokaryotic organism. The organisms, the body of which are made up of prokaryotic cells, simple cells, in which the membrane-bounded organelles are absent. They are unicellular. But some form have the ability to form chains, clusters, or colonies. Most of them are heterotrophic, but some have the ability to synthesize their food. So we can say that they are photosynthetic. The heterotrophic may be chemosynthetic, they may be parasitic, they may be saprophytic. The cell wall is formed of amino acids and polysaccharides. We also use another term for the cell wall composition, that is polypeptidoglycan. The cell wall is made up of polypeptidoglycan, or the cell wall is made up of murine. In this kingdom, bacteria, cyanobacteria are included. Kingdom Protista. The kingdom Protista contains eukaryotes. Such type of organisms, the body of which are made up of eukaryotic cells, the type of cell in which membrane-bounded structures are there. In this kingdom, the organisms may be unicellular or they may be simple multicellular. And there are 3 types of protists. Some are animal-like protists, some are plant-like protists, and some are fungi-like protists. The animal-like protists are called protozoans. They are animal-like for the reason that they lack chlorophyll. That is why they cannot synthesize their food and they are animal-like. In them, the cell wall is also absent. The plant-type protist contains the chlorophyll, and in them there occurs the synthesis of food. That is why they are called the plant-like. In them, the cell wall is also present, and algae is included in it, which are unicellular, may be colonial, and they are simple multicellular also. Simple multicellular means that they do not have sex organs and no embryo formation occur there. Kingdom Protista have the fungus-like protists also, and the fungus-like protists have absorptive mode of nutrition. These are molds which secrete the digestive enzymes, and the substrate is broken down, the organic matter is broken down and is then absorbed. That is why they are absorptive feeders, found on the decaying organic matter, and they reproduce with spores just like other fungi. Examples are slime mold and water mold. Kingdom Fungi. Now, a separate kingdom in which multicellular fungi, which are not simple, they are placed. They are eukaryotic and multicellular, means their body is also made up of such type of cells which have proper membrane bounded organelles, and the body is made up of more than one cells. A number of cells together make the structure of bodies of fungi. They have heterotrophic mode of nutrition, and we say that it has absorptive mode of nutrition because they release the digestive enzyme on the substrate, on the organic matter, on the dead bodies, as a result of which the enzymes break down the complex molecules into simple one, and those simple molecules are then absorbed by these different species of fungi. So they are also called the decomposers. Why the decomposers? Because they break down the complex molecules into simple one, and thus they also help in recycling of different type of materials, different type of elements. The plantae kingdom consists of plants, the ferns, and the mosses. These are included in the plantae kingdom. Now, what are the characteristics of the plantae kingdom? Number one, they are eukaryotes, and the organisms are made up of more than one cells. That is why we say that they are multicellular, having complex bodies. They are autotrophs because of the reason that they can synthesize their food through process of photosynthesis, and these also have multicellular sex organs. In the life cycle of plants, embryo formation takes place. Animalia. In this kingdom, all animals are included. Animals are eukaryotic organisms. They are also called eukaryotes. They are multicellular. They are consumer. They cannot synthesize their food. They consume the already prepared food. They may be primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer. They ingest food and digest the food in special cavities where the enzymes are secreted, which help in the digestion of the ingested food. The cells of these organisms do not have cell wall. Now, this table shows the comparison of some characteristics of the five kingdoms. The first character which is compared is cell type. So, if you look at the second column, cell type, and you compare the type of cells in these five kingdoms, there you will see that in Monera the cells are prokaryotic, means the body of organisms are made up of prokaryotic cell, but in the remaining four kingdom, that is Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia, the cell type is eukaryotic. In the third column, the nuclear envelope, nuclear membrane is compared, which is absent in Monera and present in Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. In the fourth column, cell wall of the five kingdoms is compared. In Monera, the cell wall is not made up of cellulose. It is made up of murine. In Protista, some protists have the cell wall, but some protists are without cell wall also. Where it is present, it is made up of cellulose. In fungi, cell wall is present, but it is made up of chitin. Plantae contains the cell wall, which is made up of cellulose, and the other polysaccharides may deposit there to produce secondary cell wall. While in Animalia kingdom, the cell wall is absent. If we compare the mode of nutrition, which is given in the fifth column, there Monera, they may be autotroph or heterotroph. Means some Monera, the organism belong to Monera are autotroph. They can synthesize their food, but some cannot synthesize their food. In the Protista also, variety of organisms are present. Some can synthesize their food, some cannot synthesize their food. And it is also known as the diverse kingdom because variety of organisms are included in this kingdom. Fungi, absorptive mode of nutrition is there. So, it is the organisms which belong to fungi are heterotrophic. Plantae kingdom have the photosynthetic mode of nutrition, while the Animalia ingest food and then digest it, so are heterotrophic. Now, the last column shows the cellular organization, that how many cells constitute the organism's body. Like in Monera, multicellularity is absent. Only one cell makes the structure of organism's body. In Protista, also because unicellular and some Simple multicellular organisms are there, so the multicellularity is absent in Protista also, but in some cases the organisms are made up of more than one cells, means they are simple multicellular, so in some it is present. In fungi, the organism's bodies are made up of more than one type of cells. Similarly, in Plantae and Animalia kingdom also, a large number of cells together make the structure of organism's body. Thank you, student. This was all for today. Inshallah, next we will discuss the binomial nomenclature. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.